Hi guys, I'm Cole, and today we're going to talk about how to create a new email address. You might ask yourself, why does everything in today's day and age require an email address? Well, in this digital world that we live in, email is required almost as a form of identification. Whether you're shopping, accessing your healthcare, creating a new account, email is used to not only communicate with you, but to identify who you are. So, if you're in a situation where you might have had an email, but you forgot the password and don't know how to get back into it, or someone in your family managed it and they lost the password or the information to it, or you need to make a new one for a telehealth account. We are going to show you step by step by step how to create a new Gmail. This is just one example of all the different types of email accounts that you can create. We're going to show you how to create a Gmail using our Android phone. Now, if you're using an iPhone or if you're using a different type of company for your email address, it might vary slightly, but we're going to go through the steps in order for you to see what it is like to create an account. Typically, if you have a different phone, it might vary slightly, but generally the steps are similar. So, the first and foremost thing that we're going to have to do is enter our browser. So, if I'm on my Android phone, like so, we're going to see the Google Chrome browser app. You might have Google Chrome. If you're on an iPhone, you could have Safari or maybe even Mozilla Firefox or Internet Explorer. But I'm going to go in on Google Chrome, and it's going to take me to the Google homepage. There might be some news, some different apps, or you might already be in a different type of window where you can see I have some other windows also in the background, but I'm at the very homepage of the Google browser. It says search or type URL. I can tap right there. My keyboard is going to pop up, and I'm just going to type create email account. And as I'm typing, you can see all of these queries come up because they're trying to guess what I am about to say. So I can either pick one of those if I like them, or I can just tap go. And it's going to give me a whole list of things that I can do. These lists are essentially links to websites. Now I see the first one is Google Help, support.google.com, and create a Gmail account. That's where we're going to go. But you might also see some other types of websites like Yahoo, trying to get us to create a Yahoo account, or Microsoft. These are all quite similar. They're all trying to get us to create email addresses on their platform. But I'm going to choose Google in this case, and I'm going to tap on that link. From here, it's going to take me to the Google Gmail help page, and it has a bunch of information. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to scroll down to this blue button that says create account. Now, when you tap on that create account button, you might find that it is pushing you to use another email address. It might come up with 3 or 4 email addresses that you've had in the past. If you feel like you might be able to log into those and you want to use one of those email addresses, go ahead. But for the sake of this course, we're just going to show you how to create a new one. So I'm going to tap on create account. And in this case, nothing popped up. There were no pop-ups saying, use John Smith email account or use this. It just gave me the sign-in screen, the box saying email or phone. But then I'm going to look down here with the blue font and it says create account. I'm going to tap on create account because I want to make a new one. And then it's going to give me the option to either tap on for my personal use, for my child, or for my work or business. So I'm going to tap on for my personal use. And then here it is going to start asking me questions to create my account. Many of you may be concerned about providing information, so that's why they give you the option to just type in your first name if you'd like. So I'm just going to type in John, for example. It says last name optional. So you do not have to type in your last name if you don't feel like it. From there, when you're done, you can either tap next or next up here. I'll tap next. From there, we see basic information. It's asking for our birthday and gender. If you want more information as to why they asked for that, you can tap on this blue link right here. But I'm just going to go ahead and fill in June 25th. Let's say 1963. Okay. Gender, you can put rather not say or custom. I'm going to put male. I'll click next. And then it's asking you to pick a Gmail address. It's giving you a bunch of options right here, or you can create your own. Now, the way this works is that there can only be one unique email address. If I choose John Smith 12345, there can be no other people in the world that uses johnsmith12345@gmail.com. So that's why this is the tricky part, where you have to find a unique name that has not been used before. Nonetheless, if you don't want to use these two options, I'm going to pick create your own Gmail address so we can create our own. So out of curiosity, let's just say J Smith 12345. Tap next. And as you can see, it said that username is taken. Please try another. So we're going to have to try again. So let's say instead I go JTS. Maybe try my birthday, 1963. And then I'll try one of my favorite numbers, 29. Let's see if that works. All right, great. So we've moved on to the next screen, and that means that it accepted our email address. So my email address is going to be jts196329@gmail.com. But let's look at the password. Now, with passwords, you always want to make sure that you're creating a safe and secure password that no one else can guess. Ideally, make a password that is not the same as all of your other ones, and you can use a password manager later so that it can save your password and you won't have to remember it. But as always, make sure that you can save your password in a safe place or write it down and put that away in a safe place. So I'm going to use a mnemonic device that I always like to use, which is, let's just say, the early bird catches the worm. So I typed in the first letter of each of those and made the J, or the T, I'm sorry, capital. So I said capital T, E, B, C, T, W. And then let's put a number, 22. And then we'll put 2 exclamation points or some sort of character there. Now, if you're in a public place and you don't want someone to see your password, you can always just check on or off the show password. So I'm going to have to confirm this and type it again. If I want to check to make sure that they are both the same, I can do a quick check, and then I will tap next. So we've moved on. Now it wants to confirm that I'm not a robot. So essentially what it's going to do is send a verification code to my phone. So because this is a demo phone, I'm going to type in my real phone number or another phone number that I have access to. But typically you'll type in the phone number to the phone that you have access to and you can receive messages from. Okay, so receiving this phone number, typically you will receive it as a notification on the top of your phone. And often, if it's the same device that you're navigating on the internet from, it will actually autofill the number at the top of your keyboard right here. So if you do receive that, you can just tap on that number and then click next. But in my case, since I'm using a demo phone, I'm going to have to find it from my other device. And I'll just type it in manually, 178495. Tap next. And then finally, it's going to ask me for a recovery email. What is a recovery email? I think of it as a set of spare keys. It is the email address that you're going to use in case you can't remember your username or password, or your account's been compromised or locked. So they would send an email to that recovery email address asking you for confirmation that this is your email, and then helping you get back into it and establishing a new password. So I'm going to use, let's say, another email as my recovery email. You can use a loved one or a family member's email address if you know that they or you have access to it. Tap next. And then it's going to give me the option to review the account information. So I can see here I have my first name as well as my email address, jts196329@gmail.com. I'm just going to tap next. And then it's going to take me to a page where it asks for privacy and terms and conditions. I'll just scroll down to the bottom. If you'd like to read through this legal jargon, feel free. I'm just going to tap accept. Confirm personalization. And there we go. Welcome, John. That's where it's saying that we're there. I want to direct your attention to the top here where it says save password. Your phone has the ability to save your password internally to its password manager so that you will not have to remember your email and password. So I'm actually going to tap save because it's a very helpful tool to have. And now my phone has just saved that email address, the jts196329@gmail.com, as well as the password that I just set. But nonetheless, now we have that email address set up. You should be able to use it for general email purposes or even as an account if you need to access telehealth or healthcare. And always remember that you save your information, keep it safe, do not provide it to anyone that does not need it. But you have learned how to create a new email address on Gmail on your Android. So have a great day, stay safe, and stay informed.